and NBC Capitol Hill correspondent Kelly O'Donnell. Good morning to both of you. Stu, I want to start with you. The House and the Senate have kept the government running through April the 8th. Here we go again. We got that date on the calendar now. But have they run out of rope here? When are they really going to come together for this larger agreement to fund the government instead of this piecemeal plan?
Yeah, Thomas, I think the next 3 weeks is a really key point. You know, if you think back to a month ago, there was a sense that we were at the edge of the cliff, crisis, government shutdown. They passed the CR for 2 weeks to continue funding. And now, again, we've approached the end of the cliff, but they've passed another CR. I think for many Americans, there'll be a sense, well, we'll just do this indefinitely. Congress will just pass funding bills for 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll go to the end of the fiscal year. That's not going to happen. When I talk to people on Capitol Hill, they tell me that Democrats are not prepared to do more CRs, and Republicans aren't either in the House.
Kelly, when we talk about the Senate vote that took place yesterday, what does it say to you that Tea Party-aligned senators Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, Mike Lee, and Jim DeMint are voting with left-wingers like Bernie Sanders? Is this the your enemy's enemy is my friend?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to describe it. It's sort of the ends of the bell curve. You have liberals like Bernie Sanders, and you have Jay Rockefeller and Patty Murray, who voted in the same way that a new senator like Marco Rubio, Rand Paul, and so forth. And part of that is it's an opportunity to make a statement. Those who are on the conservative side don't believe this kind of CR, this continuing resolution, is the right way to go. They want to see much more severe cuts. They want to see a long-term plan. And on the left, there's great concern about what is being cut and a real argument to be had about the way to approach this as far as having the domestic discretionary spending, that piece of the pie which so directly affects a lot of the social programs and things, and not the bigger conversation about what can be taken out of the budget. So when we do that vote count and look at the tally, we always sort of find those interesting alliances where people can come to the same vote even though they start off in very different political places. So it's part of what I think Stu is saying too, this certain frustration that has begun to build about can these short-term fixes really be an answer. People have seen they've been able to do it, and part of the reason they've been able to do it is because around here they can swallow the idea of, okay, we can kick the ball forward just a bit. But one of the underlying problems is that when you fund things this way, it is kind of a hop, skip, and a jump. It does not kind of release money that's been planned over the long term, and it makes it very difficult for a number of programs to get funding because of the mechanics of how budgeting works.
Stu, let's talk about that deep frustration that Kelly just mentioned. Is John Boehner the leader in the most difficult position right now? 54 Republicans voted against the bill, including 20 freshmen. So how does he move forward? Does he stick with the Tea Party for these deep cuts or work with the Senate?
Well, Thomas, I actually talked to a Republican staffer just yesterday about this who told me that House Republican leaders are figuring that somewhere between a $10 billion cut and a $60 billion cut is where they're going to be on a final funding bill. They just have to find the right dollar amount. But the Speaker is in a difficult position. He has gone on record multiple times saying there will not be a government shutdown. He opposes a government shutdown. At the same time, as you point out, there's an element of his party that believes that a fight is necessary and a shutdown would not be the worst thing. And so the Speaker, on one hand, is trying to lead his party in the direction of compromise, but at the same time, he doesn't want to go in a different direction than his party. And so he's in a really awkward position. He's trying to lead, but he doesn't want to get too far out in front.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Stuart Rothenberg, Kelly O'Donnell.